Chapter 1 Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the Yoga of Arjuna's Dejection. Dhritarashtra said, after assembling at the sacred ground of Kurukshetra and desiring to fight, what did my sons and Pandu's sons do, Sanjaya? Sanjaya said, observing the formidable formation of the Pandava army, Prince Duryodhana turned towards his guru and spoke these words. O Guru, do you see the excellent military arrangement of the Pandava army, led by none other than your very own gifted disciple, the son of Drupada? Their army is powered by heroes like Bhima and Arjuna and mighty warriors that match their skills, namely Duryodhana, Virata, and Drupada. And let's not forget powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekatana, and Kashiraja, while Purujit, Kuntabhoja, and Saibhya are heroes too in society. They also have the worthy Yudhamenyu, the mighty Uttamajas, the son of Subhadra, and sons of Virupati, all superior fighters. Now, also hear about the distinguished heroes and generals qualified to lead my army. It has personalities who have never lost a battle, like you, grandfather Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and also the son of Somdatta. There are many more in my army who are experienced in military warfare with expertise in using multiple weapons. Moreover, they will not hesitate to sacrifice their lives for me. So, clearly, our strength is fathomless as compared to the limited strength of the Pandavas. We are in safe hands under the protection of grandfather Bhishma, unlike the Pandavas who have only Bhima to protect them. I call upon the entire Kaurava army to give utmost support to grandfather Bhishma throughout the battle. What followed was a loud blowing of the conch by grandfather Bhishma, the eldest of the Kuru dynasty, sounding like a lion's roar and gladdening the heart of Duryodhana. The Kuru army then sounded its conches, kettledrums, trumpets, bugles, and horns, creating a huge uproar. From the Pandava camp, Madhav and Arjuna blew their divine conches from their glorious chariot drawn by white horses. Hrishikesha blew his conch, Panchajanya. Arjuna blew the Devadatta. Bhima, who ate voraciously and performed great tasks, sounded his mighty conch, Pandra. Son of Kunti, King Yudhishthir, sounded the Ananta Vijaya, while Nakula and Sahdeva blew the Sugosha and Manapushpak respectively. Also blowing their conches were the supreme bowman, the king of Kashi, mighty warrior Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virata, the invincible Satyaki, together with King Drupada, the sons of Virupati, and the mighty armed son of Subhadra. The resultant sound vibrations thundered across the sky and earth, filling the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra with fear. Arjuna, the son of Pandu, bearing the insignia of Hanuman on the flag of his chariot, raised his bow in preparation to fight. Looking over the army formation of Dhritarashtra's sons, he spoke to Hrishikesha.
Arjuna said, do take the chariot in the middle of both the armies so that I can have a good look at those assembled here to fight and compete with me in this battle, O infallible one. I must see all those who want to fight me and support the wicked sons of Dhritarashtra.
Sanjaya said,
complying with the instructions of Gadaksha, one who has conquered sleep, Hrishikesha, one who has conquered all senses, pulled the magnificent chariot to the middle of both the armies. Pointing to Bhishma, Drona, and the kings of the world, Krishna said, O Partha, look, the Kurus are all gathered here. In both armies, all Arjuna could see was fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, companions, in-laws, and well-wishers. Seeing only the presence of relatives on the battlefield, Kante was overcome with compassion and spoke. Arjuna said, O Krishna, My limbs are trembling and my mouth is drying up at the sight of my very own friends and relatives here on the battlefield, ready to kill each other. My body is shuddering, my hair is standing on end, Gandiva. My bow is falling off my hand, and my skin burns. O Keshava, killer of Keshi demon, my mind is reeling in confusion and I see only bad omens bringing misfortune. How can there be any merit in killing my own kith and kin? O Krishna, I have neither a desire for winning this battle nor a desire for kingdom, nor for happiness. What is the use of the kingdom or enjoyment in life, if those we want to share it with are present in this battle itself? O Govinda, teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, grandsons, fathers-in-law, grandnephews, brothers-in-law, and other kinsmen have put their lives and wealth on stake here. I refuse to kill them, O Madhusudan, even if they attack me. Leave alone earth, even if you give me control of all three worlds, I will not fight. What pleasure is there in killing the sons of Dhritarashtra, I ask you, Janardana? O Madhav, killing them will be committing a sin. Nothing justifies killing the sons of Dhritarashtra and our own friends. Does happiness lie in killing our own family? I agree that these people, motivated by greed, see no harm in killing us, their friends and family. But, Janardana, we need not commit the same sin as them being fully aware of the crime. Irreligious practices increase when dynasties get destroyed and family traditions are lost. With irreligion, women become immoral, producing unwanted children, O Krishna. The unwanted population makes existence a living hell for one and all. Even the ancestors are doomed, being deprived of sacrificial offering of food and water. The net result is destruction of all dharma, whether related to family or community, merely by the evil act of breaking cultural traditions. O Janardana, I have heard from learned sources that those who mess with family traditions are condemned to hell eternally. How ironic that we ourselves are trying to commit this sinful act of killing our own family. And for what? Simply to enjoy kingly pleasures. I would rather die unarmed and without any resistance, when attacked by the weapons of the sons of Dhritarashtra on the battlefield.
Sanjaya said.
With these words, Arjuna put down his bow and arrows and sank to the seat of the chariot with a heart overflowing with grief. Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, the Yoga of Transcendental Knowledge. Sanjaya said. Lord Madhusudan addressed Arjuna, who was wallowing in pity and shedding tears profusely. Sri Bhagavan said, From where have these weaknesses come, O Arjuna, that too at this hour of danger? It does not befit an Aryan like you who has lived a life of values. This will bring you neither good reputation nor heaven. Do not fall prey to this weakness, O Partha. O Parantapa, give up this unmanliness and rise to the occasion to fight. Arjuna said, O Madhusudan, how can I possibly attack Bhishma and Drona? How can I shoot arrows at those who I have worshipped? Tell me, O killer of demons. I'd rather live a life of begging than killing my elders, my teachers, however covetous they may be. After killing them, worldly pleasures will have no significance, tainted with their blood. Right now, I'm not even sure what is better, conquering them or getting conquered. I do not wish to live after killing them, yet they stand on the side of sons of Dhritarashtra in the battlefield. Overcome by anxiety and weakness, I am confused about my duties. I surrender to you as your disciple. Please instruct me in my best interest. Winning a prosperous kingdom on earth or acquiring sovereign powers like that of celestial beings will not be sufficient to nullify the immense grief within that is drying up my senses. Sanjaya said, and then Arjuna said to Hrishikesha, O Govinda, I will not fight." There was silence after that. "O King," Hrishikesha then spoke smilingly to the grieving Arjuna, right in the middle of both the armies. "Sri Bhagavan said your words are wise, but you are lamenting for something that is unworthy. Neither for the living nor for the dead does a wise man lament. There has never been a time when I or you or all these kings were not in existence. And surely, we shall all exist in the future too. Childhood, youth, and old age are simply phases in the journey of an embodied soul. The next phase is another body. There is nothing abnormal in this. Interaction with sense objects leads to experience of joy and sorrow which are as temporary as the seasons summer and winter that continually come and go. O son of Kunti, you must adapt to them. Tolerate them without losing your balance, O descendant of Bharata. If one is wise enough to tolerate dualities to whom joy and sorrow are one and the same, he becomes qualified for eternal life. O Arjuna, the best of men. That which is temporary is not the ultimate reality because the ultimate reality is unchangeable and indestructible. This is the conclusion derived by the wise who have pondered on the subject at length. Imperishable and indestructible, that is the nature of the soul which pervades the body. What can be destroyed is the external body housing the imperishable and indestructible soul. O descendant of Bharata, arise and fight. In ignorance one may think that a soul can slay another soul or a soul gets slayed by another soul, but in truth the learned know that the soul neither kills nor is killed. There is no birth or death for the soul, nor does it ever cease to be. It is birthless, ageless, eternal, without a beginning or an end. Even with destruction of the body, the soul is not destroyed. Knowing the soul to be birthless, deathless, and indestructible, how will you kill anyone? Or how will anyone be killed, Partha? Just as we discard old, worn-out clothes, the soul casts off worn-out bodies to enter a new body at the time of death. A body is for the soul what clothes are for us. The soul cannot be wounded by any weapon. It cannot be burnt by fire, nor moistened by water, nor can it be blown away by the wind. The soul cannot be broken, burnt, dried, or dissolved. It is eternal, unalterable, immovable, and it is without a beginning. Knowing that the self is invisible, inconceivable, and unchangeable, you should not lament for the body. Even if you wish to believe that the self undergoes constant birth and death, there is still no reason to mourn for it, O mighty armed Arjuna. Because, those born will certainly die one day and those who die will certainly be born again. Why then grieve over it? All created beings are unmanifested before birth and after death. They manifest only during life. Why then grieve over it, O descendant of Bharata? For some the soul is amazing to see, for some it is perplexing to hear, and for some it is a mystery when described. No one has really been able to decode the soul as yet. Do not grieve for any living being because the soul dwelling within the body is immortal. As a warrior, your duty is to fight without fear. There could be nothing more righteous for a Kshatriya than to fight against injustice and adharma. Fighting a battle opens the gates of heavenly abode for warriors. O Partha, an unsought opportunity like this should make you happy. If you still refuse to fight this dharmic battle, you are sinning by not performing your duty. You will lose your reputation too. People will call you a coward. Dishonor is worse than death for a respectable person like you. Brave warriors who revere you now will assume you left the battlefield fearing for your life. They will lose all respect for you. Your enemies will humiliate you, even question your abilities. Could there be anything worse than that? If you die while fighting, you will experience pleasures in heaven. If you win, you will experience pleasures on earth. It's a win-win situation. So stand up, O Kante, and fight the battle with determination. And if you fight because it is your responsibility, disregarding joy, sorrow, profit, loss, victory, or defeat, then there is no sin incurred either. I have just shared with you the wisdom of Sankhya Yoga, also known as analytical knowledge. Now hear well as I tell you about Buddhi Yoga. O Partha, this wisdom will free you from the bondage of karma. Following the path of Dharma will never go waste. It will never hamper your progress, whereas even a little advancement will save you from many dangers. This path requires resolute determination and focus. If intelligence is irresolute and multi-branched, you will get distracted. The Vedas advocate rituals by an appealing play of floral words. Men of scanty knowledge get attracted to it and do not look beyond that. For such people, their only goal is material desires and wealth, heavenly planets, or good birth, or power which they hope to achieve through the Vedic rituals. Such strong attachment to worldly powers and sense gratification weakens their determination and they lose out on the path of God. The Vedas revolve around the three modes of material nature, the gunas. But you, Arjuna, you have to rise above the gunas. You have to free yourself from the complexities of the material world and be fixed on the self alone. Just as a big lake can minimize the importance of a small well, so does the knower of the absolute truth proficient in scriptures serve better than the Vedas. Although you are eligible to perform your duties of a kshatriya, you have no right to the result of that action. Remember that you are not the cause of that result and still you cannot shy away from work. O Dhananjaya, fix your mind on duty, without any thought of the resulting success or failure, and achieve the steadiness of yoga. Choose to act on the basis of disciplined intelligence rather than desire for enjoyment. Only the miserly cling to the fruits of action, O conqueror of wealth. Therefore, practice yoga, the art and science of working without attachments. Only that can free you from good and bad reactions. Endowed with yogic wisdom, the wise decline the fruits of their actions which bind them to the cycle of life and death. Thus liberated, they find peace and freedom from suffering. Emerging from the forest of illusion, the intelligence becomes detached from what has been heard and what will be heard. Not excited by the floral words of the Vedas, the intelligence is fixed in a spiritual trance, what is called the perfection of yoga. Arjuna said, O Keshava, how does one recognize such a person with a steady intellect and divine consciousness? How does he speak, or sit, or move? Sri Bhagavan said, when one is in divine consciousness, one gives up all desires arising from the mind and finds satisfaction in the self alone. One is neither overjoyed nor agitated in happiness or suffering. Free from desires, cravings for pleasure, fear, and anger, one's mind is tranquil. One is of steady wisdom who is unperturbed by material desires and unaffected by joys and sorrows. Like a tortoise pulls his limbs into his shell, one keeps his senses under one's control. Often, one may keep the senses under control, but the taste for objects of enjoyment still remains. But one, with divine consciousness, loses the taste for such sensory objects having acquired a higher taste. But the sensory objects being immensely powerful can even drag the mind of such a person who has the ability to discriminate, O Kante. The only way to maintain steady wisdom is to control your senses and absorb your mind in me. If you think about sense objects, it will lead to attachment to them. Attachment begets desires and unfulfilled desires cause frustration and anger. Anger compounds delusion. Delusion leads to loss of memory which in turn destroys the power of discrimination. Loss of discrimination means loss of self and falling to material consciousness again. Self-control over desires and aversions can attract God. God can end all sorrow and the resulting peace fixes the intelligence on God. Only a disciplined person can control his senses and mind, have a clear intelligence, and contemplate on God. Without contemplation on God, there can be no peace and without peace there can be no happiness. If the mind hankers for fulfillment of a desire, any of the wandering senses can carry away the intelligence as easily as the wind blows away a ship from its course in the sea. Only by withdrawing your senses from the sense objects can you be fixed in transcendental wisdom, O mighty armed. What is darkness for ignorant beings is daylight, a time of awakening, for those with self-control. What is daylight for the ignorant is the dark of night for sages who see. Just as the rivers entering the ocean cannot disturb the ocean in any way, desires entering the mind cannot disturb the steady mind of a sage. Peace comes to one who gives up all desires for self-enjoyment, gives up his ego, gives up greed as well as a sense of ownership. In this enlightened state of consciousness, one never gets confused again. O Partha, if one attains this consciousness at the time of death, one gets liberated from the cycle of birth and death, and all suffering ends by entering the spiritual abode of God. Chapter 3 Karma Yoga, the Yoga of Action. Arjuna said, O Janardana, you say that intelligence is superior to action, and yet, O Keshava, you goad me to fight the war. Why? My mind is perplexed and unable to decode your cryptic language. Can you not tell me in simple words which path to take? Sri Bhagavan said, I have mentioned earlier also that there are two paths to transcendental enlightenment. One is the path of knowledge based on philosophy and contemplation. Other is the path of work or action. Abstaining from work or physical renunciation is not the answer. Both are inadequate ways to divine enlightenment. Not for a moment can one live without action. Whether one likes it or not, one is compelled to act, influenced by the three modes of material nature. It's possible that one restrains one's senses but continues to think of sensual pleasure. He is not really inactive. He is but a hypocrite. Far better is one who controls his senses through the mind and engages oneself in karma without attachment, O Arjuna. Choose to act, choose to do your duties, over inactivity or not doing your duties. Without action we cannot even maintain our own body. Remember, Kante, that to liberate oneself from the bondage of existence, action has to be done as a sacrifice to the Lord. All other actions are binding. So, Arjuna, work without attachment. The Creator Prajapati blessed all mankind at the beginning of existence to perform sacrifices that would please the Lord and usher in prosperity. Sacrifices please the Devatas, who then satisfy those who have performed the sacrifice. This reciprocation between gods and mankind benefits all. When pleased, the gods supply gifts that are necessities for life. But using those necessities without performing sacrifices in gratitude is as good as theft. Pious people habitually take food that is first offered to God, and by doing so, they are relieved of their sins. But the wicked eat only for their enjoyment, and simply by eating they are sinning. Living beings are dependent on grains. Grains are produced by rain. Rains are a result of performing sacrifices one does as prescribed duty. The prescribed duties to be followed are listed in the Vedas, the sacred literature which is directly spoken by God. Thus all sacrifices revolve around the Absolute Lord. Ignoring the cycle of duties as given in the Vedas is living a life of sin and irresponsibility. A life of sensual pleasure is a waste of life, Partha. However, the prescribed duties do not apply to one who is illuminated and fully self-realized. A self-realized person has no attachment to the results of prescribed actions. He has no motivation to perform them because he has nothing to gain or lose. So perform your duties, work without attachment to the fruits of your actions. Only this can lead you to realization of God. This is how King Janak and others have attained perfection. By action without attachment to results. You should also set an example for others by proper actions. Actions of a great man are followed by the world. The standards he sets are emulated by the world. O Partha, even though I have no duties to perform in any of the three worlds, I still do my duties. Because, Partha, if I do not do my duties, people can use that as an example for not doing their duties. If I do not act dutifully, the world will suffer and I will be responsible for that. There will be chaos, destroying peace for humanity, all because of me. O scion of Bharata, the ignorant act attached to the results of their action whilst the wise act without those attachments, thereby inspiring the masses. The wise should not confuse the ignorant lest they stop work altogether. They should inspire them to act on their duties in an enlightened way. It is the three modes of material nature that perform all activities. But the ignorant, deluding himself to be the body, thinks that he is the doer. O mighty armed Arjuna, a knowledgeable person knows all about the soul, karma, and gunas. He does not get entangled with attachments or sense gratification. But those influenced by gunas remain attached to material objects and enjoyment. The wise should not perplex such ignorant souls. The answer to this diseased condition is to meditate on me and surrender unto me in full knowledge, free from desires, free from ego, free from grief, and then fight. Practicing my teachings faithfully and without envy will bring freedom from karmic bondage. And those who do not follow my teachings out of ignorance and envy, will live in bondage and misery for life. Both the wise and the ignorant act as per their nature. Nothing is achieved by suppressing one's innate natural tendencies. It is the senses which affect desires and aversions. Do not let them be in control, as they are enemies that block the path of self-realization. It is advisable to act according to one's own nature and duties. Even if it is not done perfectly, it is still better than doing another's duty. Better to die while engaged in one's own duties than be engaged in another's path, which is downright dangerous for the soul. Arjuna said, "What is it that makes one act sinfully and improperly against his will, as if by an overpowering force?" Sri Bhagavan said, "It is lust, and lust alone, which is the biggest enemy of the whole world. A product of the mode of passion, it eventually transforms into anger. Excessive desire can cover mind's clarity just as smoke covers fire, dust covers a mirror, and womb covers a fetus. Even the wise and learned are seen to be covered by this force of lust, which is insatiable like a raging fire. Overwhelming the embodied soul and clouding its knowledge, lust takes charge through the senses, mind, and intelligence. O best of the Bharatas, waste no time in controlling the senses and killing this sinful demon called lust that destroys knowledge and self-realization. The senses are superior to gross objects, the mind is superior to the senses. Higher than the mind is the intelligence, and superior to the intellect stands the soul. The soul, being superior, can control the material senses, mind, and intelligence. O mighty, armed Arjuna, use spiritual power to destroy the unconquerable enemy known as lust." Chapter 4 Jnana Yoga, the Yoga of Knowledge. Sri Bhagavan said, "I taught this eternal yogic science to Vivasvan, who shared it with Manu, and Manu passed it on to Ikshvaku. The supreme science in this way was handed down to kings in continuous tradition. But Arjuna, with time, the link was broken and the yogic science got lost. Today, I am revealing to you the same ancient science of yoga. It is a secret science that you, being my friend and devotee, are qualified to hear and understand." Arjuna said, "How is it possible that you instructed Vivasvan when the fact is that Vivasvan was born long before you?" Sri Bhagavan said, "O destroyer of enemies, both you and I have taken many births before. I remember them all, whereas you do not. I am the controller of all beings. Although I am birthless and eternal, yet I appear in the material world by the power of my energies. Whenever there is gross decline in dharma and escalation of adharma, I appear myself, O descendant of Bharata. I appear in every millennium to protect the pious, to destroy the wicked, and to establish dharma again. O Arjuna, he reaches my spiritual abode and does not take birth again in this world if he sees divinity in my birth and activities. Many have reached me in the past by surrendering to me, being free of attachments, fear, anger, their mind absorbed in me and purified in the fire of knowledge. In whatever way people surrender to me, I reciprocate accordingly. O son of Pritha, whatever the circumstances, everyone is on my path only. Those who desire material success in the world perform sacrifices and worship the devatas. It is easier to achieve material rewards from them. The 4 socio-religious divisions are created by me. The division is based on the 3 gunas and karmas. And though I am the creator, I am eternal and transcendental to it. I am not affected by any action, nor do I desire the fruits of action. Just understanding this truth about me will free one from karmic bondage. Ancient seekers of liberation knew this and performed actions. You too should follow their example and perform your duty. What is action and what is inaction is a most confusing subject. Now hear my explanation on what action is all about and free yourself from the bondage of sinful reactions. Even the wise are confused in understanding what is prescribed action, wrong action, and inaction. Karma is a deeply profound and mystical subject. The wise can identify action in inaction and inaction in action. They are yogis who have mastered their actions. Such a wise person is a sage who acts without any desires and his karmic reactions are burnt in the fire of knowledge. Detached from the results of actions, he is always satisfied and independent. He is active without any fruitive activity. He is in control of his mind and intelligence with no perception of possession, performing only necessary actions that incur no sin. He is content, free of envy and duality, steady in success and failure. Thus, he is free of karmic reactions even when constantly engaged in work. He who is detached and firmly in transcendental knowledge, is released from all karma and is himself transcendental. For one whose thoughts are completely absorbed in God, all his offerings are also of spiritual nature. It is easy for him to attain God. Some prefer to make material offerings to devatas while a few sacrifice themselves in the fire of the Supreme. In the fire of the controlled mind, some sacrifice their sense of hearing, while some sacrifice objects of sense gratification at the fire of senses. Some offer the functions of their organs and the vital air in the fire of self-control. Some sacrifice their wealth in charity, some offer austerities, some follow Ashtanga Yoga and some take vows to study Vedas and cultivate knowledge. Some practice breath control by sacrificing inhalation unto exhalation and exhalation unto inhalation. Some restrain both inhalation and exhalation to reach a state of trance. And some give up intake of food, sacrificing their vital force. Such sacrificial acts have the power to cleanse impurities. Enjoying the sacrificial remnants, they attain the supreme abode. O best of Kurus, without a life of sacrifice, it's impossible to be happy in this life, leave alone the next. The Vedas describe different sacrifices suitable for different categories of work. Know them and be liberated from material bondage. O conqueror of enemies! O Partha, higher than material sacrifice is sacrifice performed in knowledge because that work concludes with transcendental knowledge. The wise who are self-realized can impart these truths to you if you approach them with humility in a mood of submissive curiosity and genuine service. Enlightened by a guru, you will be free of all ignorance and see all living beings as sharing a common spiritual core, being in me, a part of me, O son of Pandu. This boat of transcendental knowledge can help you cross the ocean of material existence, however big a sinner you may be. O Arjuna, just as a fire burns wood to ashes, so does knowledge burn away all karmic reactions. Nothing is more purifying than this divine knowledge. A mind purified by yoga receives this knowledge with time. Faith and self-control lead to success in this endeavor, and once successful, one attains everlasting peace. The faithless, doubting the scriptures, perish eternally. They remain lost, finding happiness nowhere in this world or the other world. One becomes free of karmic bondage, O Dhananjaya, when one renounces fruitive actions, dispels doubts by knowledge, and is self-realized. O scion of Bharata, slash your doubts with the sword of knowledge and stand up once again to fight equipped with yogic knowledge. Chapter 5 Karma Vairagya Yoga, the Yoga of Renunciation. Arjuna said, O Krishna, you suggested renunciation of action first. You followed up by encouraging practicing karma yoga. Without any ambiguity, please tell me which is the better of the two. Sri Bhagavan said, both paths I suggested lead to the supreme goal, but the path of karma yoga or action without attachment to results is better than renunciation of action to acquire knowledge. A karma yogi is considered to be renounced because he is free of desires and aversions pertaining to results of action. Free from all material bondages, he attains liberation easily. It is ignorance to believe karma yoga to be different from Sankhya yoga or contemplation. The wise know that they are not different from each other, leading to the same destination. Only a person with clarity of vision understands this. Karma yoga and work in renunciation are one and the same, yielding the same results with the same destination. But renunciation of work in the absence of karma yoga or work in devotion is difficult. Only when one practices work in devotion, does one easily attain the absolute. O mighty armed Arjuna! With the help of karma yoga, one purifies the senses, mind, and intelligence, and with such self-control he feels compassion for all living beings. Although continuously working, he is free of all entanglements. A person of such consciousness knows that he is not the doer. Even when he sees, hears, touches, smells, eats, walks, sleeps, breathes, talks, evaluates, he knows that it is not him but the material senses that are doing this by interacting with the sense objects. He is free from sinful reactions of work if he dedicates his work to the Supreme God and works without any attachment. Just like a lotus leaf that is untouched by water even when surrounded by it. A karma yogi still acts, using his body, mind, and intelligence only to get purified, although he has no attachment to his work. A karma yogi who has dedicated his work to God and renounced the results of his actions, gains peace. Whereas those who work without dedicating their acts to God, motivated by their own desires, get entangled. With this kind of detachment, the embodied soul lives happily in the city of 9 gates, neither being the doer nor the cause. It is factually the modes of material nature, not the soul, that creates the urge to act or the resultant fruits of those actions. It is not God who is responsible for pious or wicked deeds. It is the responsibility of the living being who is conditioned by material nature and covered by ignorance. When ignorance is destroyed by true knowledge, God is revealed, just as the sun heralds visibility in the daytime. Absorbed in God, with faith and intelligence fixed in God, with sins destroyed by knowledge, he takes the path of liberation where there is no rebirth. A Brahmana, a cow, a dog, and a dog-eater are all the same for a man in knowledge. This vision of equality and impartiality helps conquer the cycle of birth and death. By sharing the qualities of God, men in knowledge are in a transcendental situation themselves. Being transcendental and fixed in God, they are free of delusions and unaffected by pleasure or pain. Rejecting external sensual pleasures, they find joy within. Uniting with God, they find infinite happiness. Oh, Conte, pleasure coming from sense organs is actually a source of pain. The wise do not care for them because such pleasures have a beginning and end soon. Only by tolerating the agitations arising from desires and anger can one become happy. He alone is a yogi. A yogi is happy within himself. He sees God within himself. He is flooded with self-enlightenment. He attains liberation from material existence and unites with God. He is free from sins. He has no doubts. He is self-controlled and engaged in welfare of others. He is liberated and attains God. He renounces anger and desires. His mind is under his control. He is self-realized. He gets liberation in this world and the next. Purging out thoughts of sensual enjoyment, concentrating between the brows, equalizing the breath in inhalation and exhalation, controlling the mind and intelligence, giving up desires and fears. This is the way to liberation. Only when one understands that I am the enjoyer of end results of all sacrifices and austerities, I control everything in this world and I am a friend to everyone, only then peace is attained. Chapter 6 Abhyasa Yoga, the Yoga of Practice. Sri Bhagavan said a true yogi or a true renunciant is one who performs his duties renouncing attachment to results and not one who abandons work and the sacrificial fire. O son of Pandu, yoga cannot be separated from renunciation because to become a yogi, one must renounce all desires. To become a yogi, work without attachment is recommended. Only for an elevated yogi, giving up work is recommended. Work without desires, without sense gratification and without any attachment to results leads to attainment of yoga. The mind can act as a friend to elevate oneself or it can also work like an enemy to degrade oneself. When the mind is conquered, it becomes a friend. Left unconquered, it is an enemy. For a conquered mind, joy, sorrow, heat, cold, pain, pleasure, all are the same. Such a yogi attains peace and realization of the Supreme Soul. A self-realized yogi, steeped in transcendental knowledge and controlled senses, sees stones, mud and gold as equal. An advanced yogi sees a friend and an enemy equally and is impartial to all, be it saint or sinner. A yogi should live in seclusion, be free from material desires and possessions, regulate the mind and meditate on the Supreme. The yogi should practice in a clean and secluded place on a seat made of kusha grass, covered by deer skin and a cloth over it. The asana should neither be too low nor too high. Seated on this asana, he should begin the practice of purifying the heart by controlling his thoughts and by single-point meditation. He sits straight with head, neck, and back aligned in a straight line with his gaze steadily concentrated on the tip of his nose. The yogi meditates on me with a serene and fearless mind, on a vow of celibacy, holding me as his supreme goal of life. With a disciplined mind and body and totally absorbed in me, the yogi transcends material existence to reach the spiritual kingdom. O Arjuna, those who eat or sleep too much or too little, cannot be successful in yoga. Balanced eating, sleeping, working, and recreation is necessary for yoga practice to overcome all difficulties in life. He is a successful yogi who withdraws his mind from desires and focuses only on the transcendental. The unwavering mind of a yogi is like an unflickering lamp in a windless place. On attaining perfection, the yogi sees the soul through the purified mind and experiences inner joy. In this joyous state of pure bliss or samadhi, which is beyond comprehension of the senses, he never wavers from the path. Once he attains this state of samadhi, he knows there's nothing greater left to achieve. He is not perturbed by anything, come what may. He is free of all miseries. This state is achieved only by practicing yoga with determination and optimism. From controlling the mind and senses from all sides to relinquishing all cravings, the practice of yoga needs steadfast determination without any deviation. He progresses step by step to make the mind still, the intelligence being absorbed in a trance and the mind situated in the self. The unsteady mind may wander again and again, here and there, but the yogi always pulls it back to focus on God and keeps it under control. In return, the yogi experiences ultimate bliss when his mind is still, his passions are under control, and he is free of sinful reactions. The yogic practice frees him from material contamination, and by connecting with God, he reaches ultimate happiness. The yogi sees all beings existing in me and he sees me existing in all beings. He sees all with equal vision. A yogi who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me never loses me, nor do I lose him. A yogi who worships me knowing me to be the super soul within all living beings, lives in me always. O Arjuna, the perfect yogi responds to the pains and pleasures of others as if they were his own. Arjuna said, O Madhusudan, given that the mind is restless and wavering, this practice of yoga is highly unrealistic and impossible to do. O Krishna, it is far simpler to control the wind than the mind which is stubborn, wavering, dominating, and agitated. Sri Bhagavan rightly said, O mighty-armed Arjuna, the restless mind is indeed difficult to control, but it can surely be done by practice and detachment. Yoga is difficult for one whose mind is out of control, but in my opinion, once the mind is controlled, yoga can be perfected. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what happens to the yogi who begins in good faith but falters in between because of worldly desires and goes off the path? Lost from his original path, is he not like a wandering cloud with neither material success nor spiritual success? O mighty-armed Krishna! Krishna, these are my doubts and only you can dispel them completely. Sri Bhagavan said a person on this auspicious path will never meet misfortune. Not in this world, not in the spiritual world. He is never defeated by evil forces. On death, the unsuccessful yogi goes to heaven and enjoys in virtuous company. After a long period of enjoyment, he takes birth again in a spiritual or wealthy family. Or in very rare cases, he may be born in the family of an exalted transcendentalist. On birth, once again he takes up a yogic life and strives for spiritual perfection by reawakening the consciousness of his previous life. In this life, he acquires a spontaneous attraction for God. On the strength of past practice, he can transcend and rise above the Vedic ritualistic practice. By renewing his efforts in controlling the mind, he makes further progress. After many births of practice, he becomes free of material desires and achieves the supreme goal. O Arjuna, be a yogi because he is better than all three: the ascetic, the jnani, and the ritualistic materialist. That yogi is best who imposes full faith in me, worships me in full devotion, and is most intimately united with me. Chapter 7 Paramahamsa Vijnana Yoga, the Yoga of Supreme Knowledge. Sri Bhagavan said, Now listen, Arjuna, to how you can know me completely. It is only by practicing yoga, by fixing your mind on me and taking shelter in me, you will know me, without any doubts. I give you now both knowledge and realization, after which you will know everything there is to know. Only one out of thousands of men strives for perfection. Even amongst those who have attained perfection, hardly a soul understands me in essence. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intellect, and ego are 8 of my material energies. O mighty-armed Arjuna, these are my inferior energies, whereas my superior energy, comprising souls, maintains the universe. These 2 energies, the material and spiritual, are the source of origin of all living beings. And I am both the creator and the destroyer of the entire world. Nothing is higher than me. O Dhananjaya, like a string that holds pearls, I hold everything together. I am the taste in water, the brilliance of the sun and moon, mantra Om of the Vedic mantras, the sound in ether, and the ability in man. I am the aroma of earth, the warmth of fire, the life of all that is living and penance of the ascetics. The original seed of the entire existence, wisdom of the intelligent, the might of the mighty, that's me, O Partha. I give strength to the strong, bereft of desire and attachment. I am love aligned with injunctions of scriptures, O Arjuna. The three modes of material existence, goodness, passion and ignorance, are manifestations of my energy alone. Though they be in me, I am beyond them. Influenced by the three modes of nature, none can understand me, that I am eternal and unaffected by the gunas. Maya, my divine energy comprising the three gunas, is difficult to overcome, but certainly not difficult for those who surrender to me. Those who do not surrender to me are grossly foolish, the lowest rung of mankind, covered by illusion and atheistic demoniacs. O Arjuna, four kinds of pious men surrender to me, those in distress, those seeking wealth, those out of curiosity, and those desiring to know the absolute truth. Out of these, the one in knowledge and engaged in my devotional service, is the best. Who loves me is dear to me. All those who come to me are no doubt noble souls, but one who is self-realized, meditating upon me, will find me, the highest of all goals. After many births of self-realization, a person eventually surrenders to me knowing me to be the cause of everything. Such a soul is very rare indeed. Carried away by material desires, some souls surrender to devatas, following rituals of worship as per their gunas. If one desires to worship any particular devata, I myself give him steady faith to do so sincerely. With that faith, he worships and fulfills his desires through devatas only because I have arranged for it. But worshipping devatas is not a sign of intelligence because those results are temporary. Those who worship devatas, reach the devatas. Those who worship me, reach me. The ignorant think of me as formless, to have become embodied now. Only the intelligent know me as eternal and supreme. I am invisible, covered by my illusory energy, the Yogamaya. The foolish and the unintelligent never realize that I am unborn and imperishable. I know everything not only about present but also about past and future. O Arjuna, I know about all living beings, but no one knows about me. O descendant of Bharata, all living beings are deluded by the dualities of desires and aversions. They are born as such, O Parantapa. A pious life in the past and a pious life in the present can free them from delusions of duality, after which they worship and serve me with great determination. Those with intelligence aspire for liberation from old age and death, taking shelter of me because they have knowledge of both transcendental and material activities. Even at the time of death, they know me as Adhibhuta, Adhidevam, and Adhyagyam, the principal force behind the material creation, the devatas, and all sacrifices. Chapter 8 Akshara Parabrahman Yoga, the Yoga of the Imperishable Absolute. Arjuna said, O Purushottam, please explain to me what is Brahman, what is Adhyatma, what is Karma, what is Adhibhudam, and what is Adhidevam. Also who is Adhyajya and how is he situated in the body? How does one serving you know you at the time of death? Sri Bhagavan said, Brahman is the supreme, indestructible, and transcendental living entity. The material nature of a living entity is called Adhyatma. Karma is the fruitive action that results in the material body of living beings. Adhibhuta is the material nature in constant flux. Adhidaiva is the universal form of the Lord that includes all devatas, and I situated in every heart, the Lord of all sacrifices, am called Adhiyajya. Those who remember me alone at their time of death attain me, without doubt. O son of Kunti, whatever one is absorbed in at the time of death, is the state one attains in the next life. So keep me always in your thoughts and yet carry on with your duty of fighting. With your mind and intelligence absorbed in me and surrender to me, you will reach me certainly. By practicing to constantly fix your thoughts on me and by remaining devoted to me, you will surely come to me. God is omniscient, the oldest, the controller, smaller than an atom, sustainer of everything, inconceivable, transcendental, a personality as effulgent as the sun and driving away all the darkness. By practice of yoga, if one can fix the life air between eyebrows and meditate on God without deviating at the time of death, he will surely attain him. I will now speak about the path which leads to the goal of liberation. It is the goal described by Vedic scholars. It is the goal desired by ascetics for which they practice detachment and celibacy. One is on the path of yoga by shutting down the doors of sense organs, fixing the mind on the heart and the life air in the head. This is the path of detachment. On this path, if one leaves the body while remembering me and chanting the sacred mantra Om, he achieves the supreme destination. O Partha, for a true yogi who is absorbed in me and remembers me uninterrupted, I am easily available. These great souls who achieve me get freedom from the cycle of birth and death and never return to the material world, which is a place of misery. They experience ultimate bliss of perfection. O Arjuna, rebirth is a reality for those in the highest planet Brahmaloka to the lowest planet in the material world. Only when you reach my spiritual abode, you never take birth again. As per human timelines, a day of Lord Brahma comprises 1,000 yugas and his night comprises another 1,000 yugas. All living beings come into existence during Lord Brahma's day and they all dissolve into non-existence with the arrival of his night. With the advent of every day and every night of Brahma, the living beings are repeatedly manifested and destroyed, O Partha. Beyond this creation and destruction is another superior and higher world that never ceases to exist all through this. That other world is the infallible supreme destination, my supreme abode. From here, one never returns to the material world. The greatest personality, the Supreme Lord, is only attained through pure devotion. He is all-pervading and everything is situated in him. Now I will explain how the time of death determines whether the yogi achieves liberation or is reborn. One who knows the Brahman passes away during the sun's northern course, the bright fortnight of the moon, in the presence of Agni and at an auspicious moment of the bright part of the day, reaching Brahman as his destination. The ritualistic who pass away during the sun's southern course, the dark fortnight of the moon, the time of smoke, the night, attain the moon planet for a certain period of enjoyment and return. Vedas describe two paths of leaving the world: the path of light and the path of darkness. On the path of light, one does not return. On the path of darkness, one returns. Knowledge of these two paths clears all confusion, O Arjuna. Therefore, be fixed in yoga always. A yogi who performs devotional service transcends the fruits of Vedic study, austerities, sacrifices, charity, and piety. He attains my supreme eternal abode. Chapter 9 Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga, the Yoga of Royal Knowledge and Royal Secret. Sri Bhagavan said, because you have no envy for me, Arjuna, I will share with you secret knowledge and its realized application which will immunize you from all inauspiciousness of material existence. This secret is the king of all secrets, the most profound knowledge and deeply purifying. Easy and joyful to practice, it is the topmost rung of Dharma for self-realization. I am not attainable to those who lack faith in this Dharma. They will be born again and again to stay in the cycle of life and death, O Parantapa. The entire cosmic world is perfused by my invisible force. The living beings are dependent on me while I am independent of them. But not necessarily, the living beings live in me. This is the wonder of my mystical powers. I, the creator and maintainer of everything, cannot be influenced by anything material. All living beings are found in me just as the mighty wind that blows all over is always found in the sky. Every material being enters into me at the end of every cycle of kalpa, or millennium. O Kante, I send them back again at the beginning of the next cycle of kalpa. I alone rule the material energy, and by my will I create and destroy material forms as per their nature. My actions are not binding, O Dhananjaya. I am only an observer, indifferent and detached. O Kante, it is only by my direction that this material world of animate and inanimate objects is in a constant flux of creation, maintenance, and destruction. They are fools who do not see my divinity when I descend in human form. They do not know that I am the Supreme Lord of all that exists. They come under the spell of material energy, embracing demonic and atheistic beliefs. Alas, all their hopes for liberation, their fruitive actions, and their knowledge are a total waste. But those who are Mahatmas surrender to divine energy and accept me as the singular source of all existence. They remain absorbed in me with mind and intelligence. In such absorption, they sing my glories constantly. With steadfast devotion, they only desire to worship. Some others worship me by cultivating knowledge. They may either think of me as one with them or separate from them, or believe in my cosmic form. I am the Vedic ritual, the sacrifice, the oblation, the medicinal herb, the transcendental mantra, the ghee, the sacrificial fire. I am the act of offering itself. I represent the father, mother, grandfather, and the maintainer of this universe. I am the knowledge, the purifier, the mantra Aum. I am the Vedas, Rig, Sama, and Yajur. I am the goal, supporter, master, witness, abode, shelter, well-wisher, creation, destruction, maintenance, the reservoir, and the eternal seed. O Arjuna, heat and rain, immortality and death, matter and spirit, all are in my power. The pious who perform Vedic rituals and drink the nectar of Soma, seek heavenly planets of King Indra. They enjoy pleasures enjoyed by Devatas having done pious activities. When they exhaust their piety, they return to the planet of mortals. The Vedic rituals can give you only so much of fleeting pleasures, followed by entanglement in cycle of life and death again. But those who worship me and meditate exclusively on me, I fulfill what they need and preserve what they already have. O Kante, when one worships any other Devata, he is in fact worshipping me indirectly but incorrectly. Those who do not understand that I am the real enjoyer and the supreme lord of each and every sacrifice, they fall down and remain in the cycle of life and death. Those worshipping Devatas will be born amongst Devatas. Those worshipping ancestors reach the ancestors. Those worshipping ghosts live amongst ghosts. Those worshipping me attain me. I accept an offering of a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water if it is offered with love and devotion. Everything that you do, everything that you eat, everything you offer, everything you give in charity, every austerity that you perform, do it as an offering to me, O son of Kunti. By doing so, you will be free from good and bad effects of karmic bondage. By being absorbed in me, you break free from the effects of your actions and reach me. I am impartial. I like or dislike no one. But one who worships me faithfully is my friend and I am his friend. Even a sinner can be considered saintly if he worships me because he is on the right path. He will soon become virtuous and will be at peace. O Kante, state this boldly to the whole world that my devotee never perishes. All those who seek my protection, attain the supreme goal, O Partha, irrespective of their gender, caste, or qualities. The Brahmanas, kings, and devotees are thus more predisposed to worshipping me in this temporary and joyless world. Always think of me, be devoted to me, offer obeisance and worship me always. Showing such devotion, you will surely reach me. Chapter 10 Vibhuti Yoga, the Yoga of Divine Glories. Sri Bhagavan said, listen, O mighty-armed Arjuna, to my ultimate advice. Because you are so dear to me, I give you this advice for your own good. Both Devatas and great rishis have no knowledge about my origin. In fact, I am the source of their origin. Only he who is free of illusions knows me as unborn, without a beginning and as the Supreme Lord of the universe. He is then at once freed from all sins. I am the source of all qualities seen in humans: intelligence, knowledge, clarity of thoughts, forgiveness, truthfulness, sense control, mind control, joy, sorrow, birth, death, fear, valor, non-violence, equanimity, contentment, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. The 7 great sages, preceded by the 4 Kumaras and the Manas from whom all creatures have originated, took birth from my mind. There is no doubt that those who know my extraordinary powers and opulence unite with me by yoga of devotion. Everything material and spiritual originates from me. I am the source of everything. The wise who are aware of this, worship me wholeheartedly. My devotees fix their mind and consciousness in me and surrender their life to me. Their only satisfaction lies in constantly discussing about me and enlightening each other. Because they are constantly worshipping me with love and are so devoted to me, I give them the knowledge by which they can return to me. I care for them so much that I enter their hearts to destroy their ignorance, just like a bright lamp of knowledge destroys darkness. Arjuna said, I hail the Supreme Brahman, the Supreme Abode, the Supreme Purifier, the Eternal Truth, the Primal Being, the Unborn, and the Omnipresent. Exalted sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa accept this, and now you yourself have confirmed this. I accept your words as the ultimate truth, O Keshava. Devatas and demons can never understand your divine personality. O Supreme Being, Lord of all beings, Lord of the universe, Lord of Devatas, only you can know yourself by your inconceivable potency. Please narrate and enlighten me about your divine opulences by which you manifest and pervade the entire planetary system. How may I know you and keep you in my thoughts? In which form can I meditate on you? Please tell me, O Bhagavan and Supreme Master. O Janardana, tell me every detail of your majestic power and opulences. I can go on and on hearing the nectarine stream of your words. Sri Bhagavan said, O best of Kurus, I will certainly explain to you some exemplary aspects of my manifestation because there is no end to my infinite opulence. O Gadaksha, I am situated in the heart of every living entity as the Self. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all living beings. Amongst the Adithyas, I am Vishnu. Amongst the luminaries, I am the Sun. I am Marisai amongst Maruts, and the Moon amongst heavenly bodies. I am Samaveda amongst the Vedas. I am Indra amongst the Devatas. Amongst the senses I am the mind, and amongst all living beings I am the consciousness. Amongst Rudras I am Shankar. Amongst the Rakshasas I am Kuber. Amongst Vasus I am Agni, and amongst mountains I am Meru. O Partha, of priests I am Brihaspati. Of military chiefs I am Skanda, and of water bodies I am Ocean. Amongst exalted sages I am Brigu. Amongst sound vibrations I am the transcendental sound Aum. I am Japa amongst all sacrifices, and I am Himalaya amongst the immovables. I am banyan amongst trees. I am Narada amongst the celestial sages. Amongst Gandharvas I am Chitraratha, and amongst perfect beings I am Kapila. Amongst horses, I am Akaisrava, born from the nectar of immortality while churning the ocean. Amongst elephants I am Airavata. Amongst men I am king. Amongst weapons I am Vajra, thunderbolt. Amongst cows, I am Kamadhenu. I am Cupid, the root of procreation, and I am Vasuki, chief of serpents. I am Ananta amongst Nagas, I am Varun amongst aquatics. Amongst ancestors, I am Aryama, and I am Yama, the god of death, amongst dispensers of justice. I am Prahlada amongst demons. I am time amongst controllers. Of animals, I am lion, and of birds, I am Garuda. Amongst purifiers, I am the wind. Amongst weapon fighters I am Rama, a shark amongst fishes, and Ganga amongst flowing rivers. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all creation. O Arjuna, I am the spiritual science of self amongst knowledge and the concluding truth of every argument. Amongst alphabets, I am letter A. Of compound words, I am the dual word. I am eternal time, and I am the creator Brahma. I am the all-destructive death. I am the origin of all things yet to be in future. In women, I am fame, prosperity, speech, memory, intelligence, courage, and patience. Amongst hymns I am Bratsama. Amongst mantras I am Gayatri. Amongst months I am Margashirsha, November and December, and amongst seasons I am the blossom of spring. Amongst cheaters I am a gambler. I am the energy of the energetic. I am victory, effort, and goodness of the virtuous. I am Vasudeva amongst Vrsnis and Arjuna amongst Pandavas. Amongst sages, I am Vyasa, and amongst poets I am Ashana. I am the rod that punishes, I am morality in victory. Of secrets, I am silence, and of wise, I am wisdom. I am the seed of all that exists. O Arjuna, there is nothing moving or non-moving that can exist in my absence. O Parantapa, this is not the end of all my divine manifestations. It is only a speck of my infinite opulence. Whatever you see to be beautiful, powerful, and extraordinary around you, all of it originates from my stupendous power. O Arjuna, what is the need to know all this? Suffice it to know that just a fragment of me can pervade and sustain the entire cosmos. Chapter 11 Visvarupa Darsana Yoga, the Yoga of the Vision of the Universal Form. Arjuna said, because of your kindness, I have heard your words on the supremely confidential knowledge, and now I have no illusions whatsoever. You have discussed the appearance and disappearance of living beings at length, as well as your magnificent glories, O lotus-eyed one. I see your form, the one you spoke of, O Supreme Lord. But I desire to see that form which pervades the cosmos, O greatest of all. Show me your cosmic form, O Lord, if you think I am capable of beholding it. Sri Bhagavan said, O Partha, here are my numerous forms in hundreds and thousands, all multicolored and multi-shaped. See the Adithyas, Vasus, Rudra, Ashvinis, Maruts, and other Devatas. No one must have ever heard or seen any of this before. O Gadaksha, see the entire universe, everything moving and non-moving in me. You can see whatever your heart desires, from the present or the future. But your material eyes cannot see my cosmic form. To see my grand opulence, I will give you special vision. Sanjaya said, O King, the Supreme Lord, the Lord of all yoga, then flashed his divine and opulent form to Arjuna. Arjuna saw in the cosmic form many wonderful faces, eyes, ornaments, weapons, and garments. It was anointed with divine fragrances and wearing heavenly garlands. The form was awe-inspiring, majestic, and infinite. The cosmic form was so dazzling that it could outshine thousands of blazing suns. Arjuna, the son of Pandu, sighted the entire universe held together in one place, within God. Captivated by what he saw, Arjuna had goosebumps all over. He folded his palms and bowed down his head in veneration. Arjuna said, "O Lord, within your body I see an assembly of celestial beings. I see Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva seated on lotus flowers as well as sages and celestial serpents. I see innumerable arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes in this expansive form. O Vishveshvara, there is no beginning, no middle, and no end to it. Though difficult to see your form blinded by your fiery and radiating halo, I see you with crowns, holding clubs and discs. You are infallible, the supreme object of knowledge, maintainer of eternal dharma and in my opinion, the supreme, transcendental personality. You are unlimited with no beginning, no middle, no end, with arms infinite. The sun and moon are your eyes and fire blazes from your mouth that warms the entire universe. O Great One, you pervade the space between the planets and the three worlds tremble in fear on beholding your wondrous and terrible form. With folded hands, a stream of devatas entering your cosmic form surrender unto you, praying for peace. Sages and siddhas chant hymns praising you. The Rudras, Adithyas, Vasus, Sathyas, Vishvadevas, Ashvinis, Maruts, ancestors, Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, and Siddhas are all stunned with your form. The whole world is cowering in fear at the sight of your terrible form of multiple mouths, faces, eyes, ears, arms, bellies, thighs, feet, and the fearsome teeth. And so am I, O mighty armed one. I have lost my composure and peace of mind as I tremble with fear beholding your fiery form touching the sky, your gruesome mouth and raging large eyes. Fearing from all directions, I have lost my mental equilibrium. Your deathly faces and hideous teeth that spew fire give me no comfort. O Lord of all lords, you are the abode for the universe. Please have mercy on me. I see all the sons of Dhritarashtra and their supporting kings, with Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and also our soldiers, hurtling helplessly into your sinister mouth, your terrible teeth crushing their heads. Like rivers flow rapidly into the sea, these warriors are gushing into your flaming mouth to meet their end. Like moths fly into the fire and get destroyed, these warriors enter your mouth to meet their destruction. You devour and lick everyone with your fiery mouth while your brilliant rays surround and scorch the entire cosmos. Who are you? What is your purpose? I pay my obeisance to you. Please show me mercy. O Lord of Lords, I do not understand your ferocious form and actions. Sri Bhagavan said, I am time, a force that destroys everything and everyone. Whether you fight or not, everyone in the war except the Pandavas, will be destroyed. Therefore stand up and fight. Kill your enemies and rule your kingdom. Your enemies are already destined to be killed by me, O Sabyasachi, but you can be my instrument. Fight without any fear because I have already killed Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, and other stalwarts. You will win if you fight. Sanjaya said. Arjuna continued to tremble in fear even after hearing the words of Keshava. With folded hands, he offered him obeisance and spoke in a faltering voice. Arjuna said, your name and glories brings cheer to the world while striking terror in demons who flee in fear. While the sages rightfully bow down to you, O Hrishikesha. And why should they not bow down to you, the one who is greater than Brahma, the indestructible, the infinite, the abode of the universe, and that which transcends the visible and the invisible? You are the original and supreme person, a shelter for the entire world. You are the supreme abode. You are both the knower and knowledge. You transcend the material nature to pervade the cosmos in your infinite form. You are Vayu, Yamaraja, Agni, Varuna, Chandra, you are the progenitor and the great-grandfather. I pay homage to you thousands of times, again and again and again. I salute you from the front, behind, and from all sides. Your strength is infinite. Your courage is absolute. You pervade everything and you are everything. Forgive my ignorance and foolishness for addressing you as Krishna, Yadava, friend, as I was unaware of your majestic stature. Forgive me for joking with you while playing, sitting, resting, and eating together with you privately or publicly. O Father of all things living and non-living in the universe. O Reverend Supreme. O Spiritual Master. O Superpower. When none is equal to you in all three worlds, then how can anyone be greater than you? By prostrating before you, my Supreme God, I beg for your mercy. Please overlook my indiscretions like a father tolerates a son's behavior, like a friend forgives a friend or a lover forgives his beloved. I feel immense joy and disturbing fear at the same time at the sight of your cosmic form that I had never seen before. How I long to see your original pleasing form once again. Please be kind on me, O shelter of the entire world. I am eager to see your crowned form holding a mace, disc, conch, and lotus. O thousand-armed one, let me see your four-armed form. Sri Bhagavan said, O Arjuna, I gave you vision of my infinite, dazzling, fulgent form which no one has seen before. I can be seen neither by study of the Vedas, nor by sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious deeds nor austerities. None has seen this, O best of the Kurus. Let go of the fear you feel from this terrible form and set your eyes on the form you so long to see with a peaceful heart. Sanjaya said with these words, the kind-hearted Lord assumed his four-handed form. He consoled Arjuna further by returning to his gentle two-handed form. Seeing his friend Krishna in front of him again, Arjuna said, O Janardana, I am relieved and in good consciousness to see you back in your human likeness. Sri Bhagavan said this current form which you love is a very rare sight, a sight even Devatas hanker to see. You have seen a form that can never be seen just by understanding the Vedas, or by austerities, charity, sacrifices, and penance. None of this works when it comes to seeing me. O Arjuna, by devotion alone I can be seen directly as I stand before you. By devotion alone I can be understood and attained, O Parantapa. O Pandava, anyone who engages in my devotional activities, free from fruitive activities, free from attachments, friendly to all, can easily come to me. Chapter 12 Bhakti Yoga, the Yoga of Devotion. Arjuna said, in your opinion, who is better? A devotee who worships you, engaged in serving you, or one who worships the impersonal form? Sri Bhagavan said, in my opinion, the devotee who worships me with steady faith, always absorbed in me, engaged in my service, he is the best yogi. Yet, those who worship the impersonal form that is indestructible, unmanifest, and all-pervading, they will attain me too. However, they will face more difficulties on their path and their progress will be slow. For embodied beings, the path of impersonal worship is a hardship. O Partha, only those who worship me and meditate on me exclusively, surrender to me with mind and body, them I deliver quickly from the cyclic ocean of birth and death. If you fasten your mind and intelligence to me, you will undoubtedly always live with me. If you cannot fasten your mind and intelligence to me, then follow the path and principles of yoga of devotional service, which is the right path to attain me, O Dhananjaya. If you cannot follow the path of devotion, then work for me following my instructions. Even with this you will attain the stage of perfection. At least give up attachment to the fruits of your actions if you cannot work for me. By such self-control and detached work, be self-realized. If that is also not possible, then acquire knowledge of the self. Better than acquiring knowledge is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of fruits of actions which brings peace through self-realization. free from malice, compassion for all, equipoised in pain and pleasure, tolerant, content, determined, self-controlled, consistent in devotional service, mind and intelligence attached to me. These are qualities of devotees who are dear to me. He who never agitates anyone and is never disturbed by anyone, he who is unaffected by pleasure, fear, or distress, he is very dear to me. He who does not depend on the results of his actions, he who is pure, impartial, skillful, selfless, without anxieties, that devotee is very dear to me. He who neither rejoices, laments, nor desires, he who renounces the auspicious and the evil, that devotee is very dear to me. He who has equal vision for friends and enemies, is unaffected by honor and dishonor, criticism and praise, happiness and grief, heat and cold, is always in favorable association, is silent, content, unconcerned about residence, whose intelligence is fixed in me, mind absorbed in my service, he is very dear to me. By following this path of devotional service faithfully and focusing on me as the ultimate goal, he becomes my most loved devotee. Chapter 13 Kshetra Kshetragna Vibhaga Yoga, the Yoga of the Field and the Knower of the Field. Arjuna said, O Keshava, what is meant by Prakriti? What is meant by Purish? What is Kshetra and Kshetrajya? I want to know what true knowledge is and what the goal of true knowledge is. Sri Bhagavan said, O Kante, the body, the field of action, is called Kshetra. One who knows the field is the knower of the field or Kshetrajya. I am the knower of all bodies, and simply knowing the body and its owner is real knowledge in my opinion. Now please hear me explain to you about the nature of the field, its origin, its constitution, the changes it goes through, its knower, and its influence. The Vedic literature, especially Brahma Sutra, gives detailed knowledge on the field of activity and the knower of the field with sound logical reasoning by sages. Briefly put, Kshetra or the field of activities comprises the 5 elements of nature: ego, intellect, the unmanifest matter, 5 sense organs, 5 sense objects, desire, hatred, pleasure, pain, the aggregate, consciousness, and will. Knowledge includes humility, modesty, non-violence, forbearance, simplicity, serving the guru, cleanliness, persistence, self-control, abstaining from sense objects, rejecting the ego, understanding the futility of birth, death, old age, disease, detachment from materialism, detachment from family affairs, balanced mind in the midst of desires, firm devotion to me, living in seclusion, uninterested in social affairs, prioritizing self-realization, awareness of philosophical. I will now disclose to you that which is to be known, the knowable, knowing which you will realize eternality. The Brahman is without a beginning, beyond the cause and effects of material nature, and under my control. His hands, legs, eyes, face, ears are everywhere. He exists everywhere. He is all-pervading. He is the original source of all senses, but he himself has no senses. Though detached, he maintains all existence. Though controller of all 3 modes of material nature, he is beyond the modes. He exists inside and outside of everything moving and non-moving. He is beyond material comprehension or recognition. He is far, and also near. He is indivisible, though he appears divided in all living beings. He is the supreme creator, maintainer, and annihilator. He is the source of light for all luminaries, beyond the darkness of ignorance. He is knowledge, the object of knowledge, and also the goal of knowledge. He lives in everyone's heart. A devotee alone understands what I have said about field of activity, knowledge, and object of knowledge, and he is the one who attains me. Prakriti or material nature and Purusha or living entity, that both are without a beginning. All transformations and material modes arise from material nature. Prakriti is responsible for material cause and effect. Purusha is responsible for experiences of suffering and enjoyment. Purusha, in association with Prakriti, lives under the influence of the three gunas, becoming good or bad according to the gunas. Within the body is another witness, permitter, supporter, the Supreme Soul. It is the supreme controller and enjoyer called the Super Soul. For liberation, one only needs to understand material nature, the individual soul and its interaction with the material modes. Understanding this, one will surely be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. One can try to understand the Supreme Soul through meditation, by acquiring knowledge, or by work without expectations of result. Some others worship the Supreme Soul by hearing from saintly persons, although they have no spiritual knowledge, and they too transcend the cycle of birth and death. O Arjuna, the world that you see exists because of the combined interaction of the field of activities and the knower of the field. Knowing that the Super Soul resides besides the soul in every being and that both are undestroyable, is true insight. By knowing the Super Soul to be equally present everywhere and in everyone, the mind remains in a higher consciousness and attains the supreme goal of life. One who is aware that activities are carried out not by the soul but by the body born out of material nature, he truly sees. When one sees the diversity of living beings coming from a singular source of material nature, one attains Brahman. O Kante, the Supreme Soul is transcendental, imperishable, and beginningless. It neither acts nor gets entangled even in proximity with material nature. The all-pervading sky does not get contaminated by anything that it holds. This is true also for the soul, which does not mix with the body although it pervades the body. Like the sun illuminates the entire cosmos, the soul illuminates the entire body, O scion of Bharata. By differentiating between the field and the knower of the field, one automatically realizes how to become free from material nature and reach the supreme goal. Chapter 14 Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the Yoga of the Division of the Three Gunas. Sri Bhagavan said, I will continue now to share with you the supreme wisdom on the basis of which great sages have attained the highest perfection of life. By accepting this wisdom, one comes to me and is saved from birth and death at the time of creation and annihilation. My material energy Brahman is the womb that I impregnate, giving birth to all living beings, O descendant of Bharata. O son of Kunti, all species of life are born from the womb of Mother Nature and I am the seed-giving Father. The material nature comprises of three modes: sattvic, goodness; rajasic, passion; and tamasic, ignorance, which bind the soul to the body, O mighty-armed Arjuna. The mode of goodness is the purest amongst these, being enlightened and free from sorrow. People in mode of goodness are attached to happiness and knowledge. The mode of passion is the cause of infinite desires and cravings, and pushes the conditioned soul to perform fruitive activities, O Kante. The mode of ignorance incites the embodied soul into an illusion which is seen as laziness, sleepiness, and deluded madness. Sattva guna binds one to happiness, rajas guna to fruitive activity, and tamas guna to madness. In a battle for supremacy, sometimes goodness reigns supreme, defeating passion and ignorance, sometimes passion takes over, beating goodness and ignorance, and sometimes ignorance dominates, prevailing over goodness and passion, O son of Bharata. When the gates of the body are enlightened with knowledge, sattva is the active mode. Attachments, yearnings, fruitive activities are symptomatic of rajasic guna, O Arjuna. Darkness, inactivity, and illusions indicate dominance of tamas guna, O descendant of the Kurus. In the mode of goodness, One goes to higher planets, on death. When death is in the mode of passion, one takes birth amongst those driven by fruitive activities. Death in the mode of ignorance obtains birth amongst animals. Pious actions in mode of goodness result in purity. Actions in mode of passion beget suffering, while actions in mode of ignorance result in foolhardiness. Knowledge comes from sattva mode, greed from rajas, and nescience and foolishness from tamas. Sattva takes you to higher planets. Rajas keeps you on earthly planets. Tamas spirals you down to hellish planets. Understanding that it is only these three modes of material nature that are involved in all activities and not the Supreme Lord, takes you to the spiritual platform. By transcending the modes of nature, you can release yourself from miseries of birth, death, and old age to enjoy eternally. Arjuna said, Prabhu, how does one transcend the three modes? How is he recognized and how does he behave? Sri Bhagavan said, O Arjuna, one who has transcended the three modes of material nature has no hatred for knowledge, attachment, and delusion, nor does he long for them when absent. He is indifferent and undisturbed by the acts of the modes of nature, remaining steady and composed in joy and sorrow. He views mud, stone, and gold, all equally. He does not differentiate between what he likes and what he dislikes, praise or blame, honor or dishonor, friends or foes, and has renounced all result-oriented activities. When one serves me constantly with devotion irrespective of circumstances, one rises above the three modes of nature and reaches the Brahman platform. I am the basis of that absolute bliss coming from the eternal, indestructible, formless, and immortal Brahman. Chapter 15 Purushottama Yoga, the Yoga of the Supreme Divine Personality. Sri Bhagavan said there exists a banyan tree which has roots growing upwards, branches downwards, and its leaves are the Vedic hymns. If one can understand this eternal tree, one can understand the Vedas. Nurtured by the three gunas, the branches spread across downwards and upwards. The twigs are the sense objects. The roots are bound by karma, the fruitive activities of human beings. This tree is covert, its beginning, its end, and even its foundation is not easily perceptible in this world. But one has to still cut this deep-rooted tree with determination and detachment. Having done that, one must search for a higher destination, the Supreme God, the reservoir of all activity and all existence. Once he surrenders to him, he never comes back to this world again. One who surrenders to the Supreme God, has humility, uninfluenced by illusions or bad association, without lust and free from dualities of joy and sorrow, he attains my spiritual abode. My supreme abode needs no illumination by the sun, moon, or fire. From there, one will never return to the material world. The embodied souls are my fragments, my parts and parcel, but conditioned and bound by the material nature, they are still struggling with the six senses including the mind. As the air carries fragrance from place to place, so does the soul carries its mind and perceptions from body to body. When acquiring a new body, the soul obtains a particular mental framework and sense organs to help it enjoy correspondingly. The ignorant enjoy the sense objects under the influence of three modes of material nature, grossly unaware of the nature of the soul within. Only the eyes of knowledge can see the truth. The self-realized and those striving from transcendence can see the soul within the body. For others not self-realized, with no ability of discrimination, cannot see this even if they try. The luminescence of the sun that illuminates the world, the brilliance of the moon, the dazzle of fire, all originate from me. My energy permeates each planet to sustain it. It is my energy in the moon that nourishes plants and vegetables. I am the fire of digestion. I am the incoming and outgoing life breath required to digest the 4 kinds of food. Seated in the hearts of all living beings, from me comes memory, remembrance, and forgetfulness. I am the conclusion of the Vedas, and I alone am to be known from the Vedas. I am also the compiler as well as the knower of the Vedas. There are 2 classes of entities as given in the Vedas: the fallible who are found in the material world and the infallible present in the spiritual world. Higher than these 2 is the greatest entity, the Supreme Soul, the Eternal Lord Himself who pervades and maintains the 3 worlds. I am described in the Vedas as the Supreme Being because I am transcendental, the best of all and above the fallible and infallible. Recognizing me as the Supreme Being is knowing everything that needs to be known. Without doubt, He then serves me in full devotion, O descendant of Bharata. I have opened for you the secret principle of the Vedas. O sinless Arjuna, this knowledge will make you wise and take you to the perfection of your life. Chapter 16 Divasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, the Yoga of the division between the divine and the non-divine. Sri Bhagavan said, O Arjuna, these are qualities of saintly and divine beings: fearlessness, purity, spiritual knowledge, charity, control over senses, sacrifice, Vedic study, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, want of anger, renunciation, tranquility, dislike for criticism, compassion, absence of greed, gentleness, modesty, determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, non-enviousness, and indifference to honor. O Partha, the qualities of demonic beings are arrogance, pride, conceit, anger, harsh speech, and ignorance. The divine qualities propel you to liberation and the demonic qualities to bondage. O son of Pandu, you have no cause for concern because your divine qualities are inborn. Divine and demonic are the 2 kinds of beings in the world. I have enumerated the qualities of divine beings, now hear about the demonic ones. Those with demonic qualities are ignorant about how to act and how not to. They are devoid of cleanliness, truthfulness, and good behavior. They believe the world to be an illusion, without any role of God, simply a product of sensual desires culminating in sexual union. These are souls with inadequate intelligence and inappropriate beliefs, indulging in heinous acts destructive for the world. Soaked in lust, pride, and arrogance, the demonic stick to their beliefs of impermanence and act in unclean ways. Satisfying sensual desires is their primary goal in life. Their numerous desires, bound by lust and anger, lead to endless anxiety. To satisfy their lust, they acquire illegal wealth. The ungodly think, I have so much wealth today and I will acquire much more tomorrow. It's mine and it will increase in future. My enemies will suffer, destroyed by me. I am the Lord and enjoyer. I am powerful and happy. None is equal to me. By sacrifices and charities, I will enjoy my life. This is their delusion in the mode of ignorance. Trapped in a mesh of illusions, they are confused and attached to sense gratification. Thus they live in hell. Because of pride, obstinacy, and delusion of wealth, they perform sacrifices as per their own whims without following Vedic guidelines and regulations. They even envy the Supreme Lord who exists in their own and others' hearts, blinded as they are with power, arrogance, lust, anger, and ego. The envious, the wicked, the lowest amongst men, I cast them into the wombs of demonic species to take repeated births. Born as demonic beings in the material world, they get degraded lower and never attain me, O son of Kunti. Lust, anger, and greed are the 3 gates that open into hell. If not given up, they degrade the soul. The further one is from the three gates, the closer he is to self-realization and supreme destination. Impulsive actions disregarding scriptural directions bring neither happiness, nor the stage of perfection, nor achievement of the supreme goal of life. It is best advisable to discern do's and don'ts as per scriptural authority and then implement them to achieve gradual elevation. Chapter 17 Sraddha-traya Vibhaga Yoga, the Yoga of the Threefold Faith. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what is the fate of those who do not adhere to scriptural instructions but worship as per their own fancies? Is their faith in goodness, passion, or ignorance? Sri Bhagavan said faith in embodied beings depends on the predominant guna, whether it is sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. Faith evolves as per the modes of nature, and according to the modes a living being has acquired, he will evolve to a particular faith, O son of Bharata. In the mode of goodness, living beings worship devatas. In the mode of passion, they worship demons. In the mode of ignorance, they worship ghosts and spirits. Some perform severe austerities not recommended in the scriptures but motivated by ego, lust, pride, and attachments. They torture not only themselves but also the super soul within and are considered to be demons. The food that you eat, the sacrifices, austerities, and charities you perform, all are of three types, depending on the three modes of nature. I will tell you how to differentiate them. Food in sattva guna is healthy and nourishing. It prolongs life, purifies existence, and brings happiness and satisfaction. The juicy, wholesome, and fatty food in sattva guna gives pleasure to those in goodness mode. Rajasic food is extremely bitter, sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning, liked by those in mode of passion. This kind of food brings pain, disease, and suffering. Those in tamas are attracted to food that is stale, tasteless, overcooked, rotten, unhygienic, remnants of others, and unfit for offering. That sacrifice which is performed in alignment with scriptures as one's duties and not for any reward, is sacrifice in mode of goodness. Sacrifice performed out of pride, to show off, or to acquire material benefits, is the domain of passion, O Arjuna. Sacrifices that defy scriptural instructions, without distribution of prasadam, without offering of food, without chanting of Vedic hymns, without alms, and without faith are in the mode of ignorance. Austerity of the body includes worshipping God, the Brahmanas, the wise, and the spiritual master. It also includes hygiene, celibacy, non-violence, and simple living. Words and speech that is truthful, pleasing, beneficial, non-distressing, and based on the scriptures, is considered austerity of speech. Satisfaction, silence, self-control, peace of mind, and purity of thoughts are austerities of the mind. The three austerities of the body, speech, and mind, are in the mode of goodness when they are practiced without hankering for selfish materialistic benefits but out of devotion to the Supreme Lord for the purpose of pleasing Him. Austerities performed for show in the hope of getting honor and respect are in the mode of passion. It is not a steady or long-term endeavor. Austerities performed thoughtlessly to destroy self or to torture others are in the mode of ignorance. Charity given to a worthy person, at the right time and place, without any selfish motive but as a matter of duty, that charity is declared to be in mode of goodness. In mode of passion, charity is given reluctantly, expecting some reward for it or with a greedy desire to enjoy the fruit of it. Charity given with disrespect and disdain to unworthy persons at an inauspicious time at an impure place is said to be in the mode of ignorance. The supreme truth is represented by the three syllables, Aum Tat Sat. From the beginning of creation, these syllables were used by Brahmanas while chanting from the Vedas and performing sacrifices. To obtain the supreme, spiritualists chant the syllable Aum before beginning any sacrifice, austerity, or charity as per the Vedic standard. To achieve liberation from material shackles, one must chant the syllable Tat before beginning any sacrifice, austerity, or charity. O Partha, to obtain the objective of devotional service, the supreme truth, one must chant the syllable Sat before beginning any sacrifice, austerity, or charity. Sat is indicative of the Supreme Lord. Any sacrifice, austerity, or charity done without faith in God is called asat. Any such act is impermanent and useless in this life and next. Chapter 18 Moksha Sanyasa Yoga, the Yoga of Liberation and Renunciation. Arjuna said, O mighty armed Krishna, O killer of Keshi demon, I want to know about renunciation of action, Tyaga, and renunciation as an order of life, Sanyas. Please tell me the difference between the two, O Hrishikesha. Sri Bhagavan said renunciation of action or Tyaga is giving up the fruits of all actions, whereas Sanyas is a state of detachment, giving up all activities that are motivated by material desires. It is claimed by those learned that activities that qualify as evil should be abandoned. Some others claim that activities like sacrifice, charity, and austerities should never be abandoned. Now hear what I have to say, O best of Bharatas. Scriptures describe 3 types of renunciation, O tiger amongst humans. Great beings are purified by acts of sacrifice, charity, and austerity. These are simply a must and can never be given up. O Partha, these must be performed as a matter of duty, without attachments or expectations. This is my firm opinion. Overcome by illusion, if one renounces prescribed duties, it is renunciation in the mode of ignorance. Prescribed and recommended duties should never be abandoned. Renouncing prescribed duties out of physical discomfort or fear, is renunciation in the mode of passion which does not yield any elevating outcome. But renunciation of all attachments and results of actions while acting with a sense of duty is indicative of mode of goodness, O Arjuna. A renunciate in the mode of goodness does not avoid unfavorable activities or aspire to perform favorable activities. He has no doubts as to his prescribed duties. To give up all activities is impossible for an embodied being. To give up fruits of action is itself true renunciation. The 3 consequences of actions auspicious, inauspicious, and mixed await those who do not renounce. The renounced will have no such experience of suffering or enjoying. According to Sankhya philosophy, there are 5 causative factors that complete all actions. O Arjuna, now learn about this. The 5 factors are the place of action, body, the person executing the action, the senses, effort, and finally, the supersoul. Every action performed by the body, mind, or speech, whether right or wrong, is the result of these 5 factors. Only a fool considers himself as the doer and disregards the 5 factors. But a person who has surrendered his ego as the doer and whose intelligence is clear, is not bound by his actions. Even if he kills people, he does not really kill. Motivating triggers for action are knowledge, object of knowledge, and the knower. Senses, the object, and the doer are triple integrated components of action. Knowledge, action, and doer are also of 3 kinds, subjective to the 3 modes of material nature. Listen now as I explain. When one sees the undivided Supreme God divided equally in all living beings, it is knowledge in the mode of goodness. When one sees different living beings as separate and unconnected entities, it is knowledge in the mode of passion. And when one is attached to a certain kind of work, with indifference to truth, that knowledge is in the mode of ignorance. Dutiful action as per scriptural recommendations, without attachment or aversion, without any expectation of results, is action in the mode of goodness. Acts of repeated effort, motivated by false ego and sense gratification, are said to be in the mode of passion. And actions under madness, dismissing the Vedic injunctions, disregarding future consequences, causing hurt to others, are in the mode of ignorance. The qualities of a worker in the mode of goodness are enthusiasm, determination, detachment, unaffected by success or failure, and without the trappings of false ego. In passion, the doer is greedy, violent, impure, easily moved by joy and sorrow, and desires rewards of his actions. Undisciplined, arrogant, lazy, obstinate, despondent, deceitful, procrastinating, and going against the scriptures, are workers in the mode of ignorance. Now listen, Dhananjaya, to the three kinds of intelligence and determination born out of the three modes of nature. In the mode of goodness, O Partha, the intelligence knows what is to be done and what need not be done, what is to be feared and what need not be feared, what is liberating and what is binding. And in the mode of passion, the intelligence fails to understand the difference between religion and irreligion or right and wrong, O Partha. Intelligence in the mode of ignorance is veiled by darkness and illusion, misunderstanding right to be wrong and irreligion to be religion, thereby veering in the wrong direction. Determination that remains steady by dint of yoga and controls the mind and the senses is in the mode of goodness, O Partha. The will with which one strives for material gains in religion, economic prosperity, and sensual gratification is in the mode of passion, O Partha. And the will by which one is irrationally adamant on sleeping, fearing, lamenting, being depressed, being ill-humored, that determination is in the mode of ignorance, O Partha. Hear now as I describe the three kinds of happiness experienced by conditioned souls which can mitigate suffering, O descendant of Bharata. What may seem like poison initially but eventually takes shape of nectar is happiness in the mode of goodness. That awakens self-realization. Happiness arising from interaction between senses and sense objects seems like nectar first but is actually poison. That happiness is in the mode of passion. Happiness in the mode of ignorance is delusional, derived from sleep and laziness and blocking the path of self-realization. No living being on earth, or on other planets, including the Devatas, are free from the three modes of material nature. The duties of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are allocated according to qualities acquired as per the dominant mode of material nature, O Parantapa. The inbuilt qualities of Brahmanas are tranquility, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, and faith in God. The qualities ingrained in Kshatriyas are heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage to fight, generosity, and leadership. Farming, cattle raising, trading are the natural propensities in Vaishyas, while labor and service is the intrinsic nature of Sudras. Please hear now how everyone can attain perfection by following their natural calling for work. By performing their duties, they are in effect worshipping the all-pervading God, and are on their way to attain perfection. Performing one's own prescribed duties even if imperfectly, is better than performing another's duty perfectly because following Dharma will never accrue a sinful reaction. Every action may have a concomitant defect in it just as smoke accompanies and covers fire. That should still not be reason to give up one's instinctive prescribed duty, O son of Kunti. The stage of perfection or the end result of renunciation can be obtained simply by self-control and disentangling from material things and pleasures. Now hear how one can achieve the Supreme Brahman after attaining perfection, O Kante. One gets elevated to the platform of Brahman by purifying the intelligence, controlling the mind with determination, forsaking the objects of sense gratification, giving up likes and dislikes, residing in a secluded place, eating less, regulating speech and body, following yogic trance, detaching from egotism, lust, anger and belongings, being selfless and at peace. Having realized the Brahman, he is free from hankerings and lamentation, equally disposed towards all living beings and attains transcendental devotion for me. Worshipping with devotion is essential to understand me, the Supreme Person, and enter my kingdom. With my mercy and blessings, my devotee is protected and reaches my eternal abode, regardless of the activities he is engaged in. Seek my protection. Surrender unto me. Absorb your consciousness in me, in every endeavor and activity. With such absorption in me, you can overcome all hurdles in life. If you remain absorbed in yourself and your ego, you will be lost. Ignoring my advice, if you decide not to fight, your decision will be misguided by your mind going against your material nature. You will surely end up fighting other insignificant battles, as is your nature. Your decision of not fighting is delusional. Sooner or later you will be driven to war because that is your innate nature that binds you, O Kante. The living entity, while seated on a Maya-made machine, is guided in every activity by God who is present in every heart. By my grace, you will find transcendental serenity and my eternal and supreme abode, O descendant of Bharata, surrender totally unto me. I have fully explained to you the most confidential knowledge. Now it is up to you to meditate on it and decide what it is that you wish to do. I have only given you my topmost secret because you are my dear friend. Hear it again because I only want good for you. Focus your mind on me. Become my devotee. Worship me. Offer your obeisance to me. Then certainly you will attain me. It's my promise to you because you are very dear to me. Reject every other dharma that you know of and surrender to me exclusively. I will free you from the most sinful reactions, have no fear. Never speak of this knowledge to those who are not my devotees, neither to those who are not austere, or to those who envy me and do not want to hear. But sharing this topmost secret qualifies as the highest form of work in devotion, and such a devotee will surely come back to me. No one is more dear to me, nor will anyone be more dear to me in this world than one who shares this knowledge with others. Moreover, I proclaim that the study of this dharmic conversation between us is akin to worshipping me with intelligence. Simply by hearing this conversation faithfully and without envy will free one from all past sins and deliver one to auspicious heavenly planets. O Partha, have you been hearing my words with concentration? Is your ignorance and illusion destroyed as yet, O Dhananjaya? Arjuna said, Oh yes, Krishna, my illusion is destroyed and my memory regained. By your mercy, I have no doubts as to what I should do. I will follow your instructions in totality. Sanjaya said, I have been blessed to hear this conversation between Vasudeva and Partha. My hair stands on ends with so mesmerizing a dialogue. This confidential conversation I could hear directly from the mouth of the Yoga Master, Krishna, by the grace of Vyasa. I feel the thrill again and again just remembering the sacred and transcendental dialogue between Keshava and Arjuna, O King. I am awestruck recollecting the astounding form of Hari, experiencing continuous ecstasy. Victory, wealth, righteousness, and power will follow wherever there is the master of yoga, Krishna, and the supreme archer Arjuna. This is my conclusion.